Earlier this month, the Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, officially unveiled Finidi George as the new head coach of the Nigerian men national team, the Super Eagles. The former Real Betis winger was appointed permanently after the departure of the Portuguese gaffer Jose Peseiro. He was an assistant to Peseiro at the last African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, where the team finished second place. George's first assignment as a substantive head coach will be the 2026 World Cup qualifier against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa in June. Joining us now on this show is Finidi George, the new head coach of the Super Eagles. Also joining the interview is Ebi Nyomo and Aaron Akirijola, our sports correspondents. Good morning, Finidi George, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning for having me this morning.
I must say you are a very lucky man. 4 journalists interviewing one man. But don't worry, just relax, You are in a friendly company. It's not an interrogation.
I know.
It just shows how important your position is. But first, congratulations.
Thank you.
We are all very happy, and many who believe that, we should pay more attention to indigenous coaches are excited by your appointment. But we've read that written into your contract is that the main assignment that you have been given is to take Nigeria to that 2026 World Cup. How is it true that that is the main clause in the contract, and how prepared are you? And the NFF chairman was saying you'll be given a car, you'll be given accommodation, and your salary will be paid on a monthly basis as at when due. What do you feel about that? And are they keeping to that promise? Are they giving you the car key, the house? Have you received first salary? You're welcome to the Morning Show.
Yeah, good morning. I signed the contract this month, so it's not due yet for salary payment. But it's not a 1-year deal. It's based on how well we perform. I think even if they've given me a 5-year deal and I don't perform, definitely I will leave before that five years. So for me, it's all about adding value, winning games, letting the team play good football. If I can do that, I think I will stay longer. So I'm not that quite worried about the length of the contract. But I think the contract is a 2-year deal based on performances.
Okay. But how about the accommodation and the car?
No, all those things are easy things. I was in Abuja, looking for an apartment. The ones I saw was not good enough, so we are still in search for a good place.
But for now, you are using the Camarua?
No. There's a vehicle, and a driver. So these are little things for me. But there's a good vehicle for me, a driver. The next thing I have to do is get that apartment.
Okay, so I feel personally hurt and taken aback. Because if it was a foreigner that came here now, you have a defined contract. They're telling you based on performance. What is that? This is the great finito. As far as I'm concerned, people that watch football in this country in the 90s, the golden age of Nigerian football, people like Finidi graced it. So what with all of this? That's my first concern. I feel taken aback. And the fact that the stability and the people they gave you to work with, are those the people you want, or they were handed just to you? Because those 1 2 is based on pay-by-play basis. And my last question for you will be, we watched you guys in the days of Clement Westerhoff. The team was so successful, I can name the full national team in my head. Eguavon, Benedict Iroa, Uche Okechukwu, Finidi on the 7th flank, Amuneke on the 11th flank. In the middle of the flank, you have Tosin Olia, Olise, up front, Rashidi Yekin. You know that team. How can we make this our Super Eagles team to be like you guys in 94 again, or even better than you guys in 94?
It's all about commitment. I've been there before. Now I'm the head coach, so I think it's just to let the players know that they are playing for Nigeria, and the task playing for Nigeria is much bigger than even playing for their various clubs. So if we can do that, we'll see that commitment from the players, and we'll have that level of football you guys saw in the past. And I hope, me being the head coach, I'll be able to achieve that. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term thing or an immediate impact.
So that's my problem, Finidi. Why can they not give you a stable 2-year contract? Why they say it's based on performance?
No,
because you win some and lose some.
Yeah, I know, but
for me, I think they're disrespecting you. You can call me any name. That's what I think.
No, personally, I don't think so.
Okay.
For even Pesero that came, they gave him a target. So we cannot. This is Nigeria. Nigeria has gotten to a level where we cannot just bring a coach and you let him stay for 4 or 5 years and hoping he's going to turn things around. Yeah. I think it's going to be...
The people you're working with, were those the people you picked or they had picked them for you?
No. Those were the people that I picked.
You are comfortable working with them? We'll not hear any wildlife.
No.
Okay. All right, Coach, let's actually bring it to one very sticking point. When we talk about national team coaches and Nigerians that actually watch them. Nigerians have always criticized the foreign-based coaches and even our local-based coaches for not favoring homegrown talents. Yeah. And you're a man that is coming from that particular side, talking about you coached Eyimba, won the league with them recently, and now you are in the national team. Talk to us, what is the biggest struggle featuring homegrown talent, 1? And 2, we know that the late Stephen Okechukwu-Keshi cracked that particular puzzle and that riddle of having to blend both foreign-based and homegrown. We know that for the foreign-based players are getting better and the pool is getting wider. How do you intend to accommodate the boys coming in? Would they just be 1 or 2 like Olorunleke Ojo that is just coming to feature on the squad and not getting game time? Talk to us, that dynamics.
For me, it's going around. I've been in the league for 3 years now.
Yes.
As a coach, you only analyze the direct opponent that you're playing against, and see 1 or 2 good players in those teams, But now it's a wider range where I have to, search for players. We're not just going to bring players that cannot play. If we're going to search, we're going to look for players. Definitely,
it must be enough to compete with the foreign legs we have.
I think so. Not in every position. We have a lot of strikers doing so well in Europe. Maybe in the midfield and maybe in the defense line. We'll definitely have.
So how do you intend to integrate them? That's the second question.
Yes, we'll get a couple of them to join us. Definitely in these 2 games that we'll be participating.
Well, Ebi Yama, are you with us?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Any question for
definitely
Finidi George?
I have, yes, definitely. Coach, you were with Pesero and an assistant for about 20 months. And now we already know that Nigeria will play 2 World Cup qualifying games come June, and they stand 3rd on the table. With the list of injured players, there's a long list of injured players at the moment. How do you hope to treat that? Is this something of a bother? And I think Nigerians will want to know this style of play you want to adopt, because when it comes to Nigerian football, in recent years, Nigerians are not even sure if we play expansive style of football or the defensive style. What style do you hope to adopt?
With the caliber of players that we have, we cannot play that defensive. But I think in football, you must get that balance when you attack, when you defend. If the players are aware of what you're doing, you attack properly and you know when to defend, I think it doesn't...
the best defensive record at the just concluded AFCON.
Yes, but we struggle going
Yeah.
forward as well, you know. So that balance we just have to get it right, you know. Maybe the formation has to change, whereby we take away a player at the back, put him in the midfield. You know, we played 3-4-3 in the last AFCON, and maybe it's time we'll get back to 4-3-3, where we'll make use of our wingers properly. So you ask about the injury list that we have. We came up with a provisional list of 35 players, and from what the information that we have gotten, there are some players that are injured, but they will be replaced by others that are capable of doing the job as well.
Well, Coach, your first major test will be on June 7 in Uyo, when we host the South African team. You have announced a provisional list of 35 players, right? Eventually, yes, that will be pruned down to 25.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Are you confident that in your first outing, as you begin to, you know, hustle, I use that word advisedly, for that World Cup 2026 qualifier, are you confident that, you know, people will not say, because you have critics too, people will not come and say, hey, we told them, don't use local coach. Are you confident that you will deliver?
For me, I'm not worried. We've played two games, 2 matches where we drew both against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. So this is a must win. These 2 games, I think, for us to get at least comfortable in our group, we have to win these 2 games. I'm not quite worried for a coach. It's either I get a good result or not. But I have the belief that we're going to win these 2 games. So I'm not, there's no pressure on me. I'm not fearful.
Okay.
I'm not fearful.
And we wish you a lot of luck, and we're also praying for you, you know. And but let's go back to that strategy that AB was talking about. Over the years, in that era, that golden era of the likes of Finidi under Westerhoff, then Bonfrijo and all of that carried on even to Amadou Shuaibu, we used to know to be playing our expansive 4-4-2. 2 people top strikers. We had 4 where you and Amuneke would play the flanks and all of that, you know, and that was our style of football. But now you're saying we're having a couple of styles that are tilting towards defense. When are we going to go back to playing that expansive football, number 1? Number 2, what's your relationship like with Amuneke? You know, I know you guys were in the gunning for this and all of that. How is he supporting you for this? Do you guys still exchange notes and all of that? Because both of you were in the gunning for this. And Amuneke, I mean Emmanuel Amuneke.
Yeah. He's a very good friend of mine. We talk every now and then. He's one of my closest friends. Despite the fact that we were in that tussle for who to be the head coach of Super Eagles, but that will not end our relationship at this point in time. So we're quite comfortable. We speak. He texts me every now and then. We've come a long way. So I don't think me having the job or he having the job would have changed anything, you know. So my relationship with him is very, very sound, very, very okay. So that is by the way. You talked about
the expansive 4-4-2. We used to know the Super Eagles knock the ball across the flank.
Today has changed.
Okay.
The way we used to play back then is different, you know. When we were playing, I was right.
It was kick and follow in those days.
Now
it's technology driven.
Yeah, not really.
It wasn't kick and follow.
Not really, but you see Amuneke, left-footed player playing on the left side.
Yeah.
I was playing on the right side, you know. But, you know, because of the grooming of these players today, you see a right-footed player playing on the left side and a left-footed player playing on the right side. So you don't really have those crosses immediately, you know, like nowadays. But that's we have to adjust to the modern football. But we still want to play that expansive way you're talking about. But we still have to get that balance, you know. Even if we're going into attacking football, we must be aware that you don't only play attack. Sometimes you have to defend as well.
All right, defend. Rufai mentioned this earlier. You're part of that golden generation of Super Eagles players. And I'm sure you'll be hoping to probably do the same, build a golden generation for the future. Just like what the late Stephen Keshi did, both as a player and a coach. And he has gone into the annals of history for that. What legacy are you seeking to build? That is one. And my second question has to also do with the fact that we're going against South Africa. And South Africa, in the last 12 years, we've only lost once. And do you understand that rivalry? And do you intend to silence every one of those critics who have insisted that Nigeria are far better having a foreign coach as against a local coach? Because whatever happens to you will be a verdict on having a local coach or going for a foreign coach.
I would say my journey getting here, for me, it's a surprise, you know. I came back 3 years ago and to handle one of the biggest teams in Nigeria and West Africa. And today, you know, I find myself in 3 years, here as the Super Eagles head coach. So I think my growth is quite positive. I think God is moving me in a good direction. So I'm not quite worried if there will be failure. You know, I think God has taken me this far, has brought me here. Definitely, will open that way for me for positive things to happen. Legacy, want to play good football, and let people enjoy football, and be a winning side. Football has changed, you know. Back then, people used to fear Nigeria. Now, other countries, they've gotten to that level where that rivalry doesn't really matter. It's just the capacity of the players, and I think...
Can we get there? Can we get back to that?
Yes. It's just a matter of convincing the players, motivating them. I think they respect me a lot because I've been there, I've done it. There's a way I will talk to these players. They will give their all, and if they give their all, we'll see that Nigeria, everybody's expecting to see, and the rest will be history.
Ebi, back to you.
And yes, Coach, there's some reports making the rounds about the captaincy. Some say that a report said that you may mention the fact that the most senior player will now be the new captain. Can you verify that or say if that is true? And still on the home-based players, a team like South Africa has about 12 home-based players who play for some of their top clubs. How do you plan to manage them? We already defeated them. The Super Eagles already defeated them at the AFCON. Do you think that can still follow the same road?
We want to win. We are not, as Nigeria is concerned in football, we are not afraid of anybody. We have the players, we have the capacity. We just have to believe that we can win. And we'll let these players understand that the AFCON is gone. This is a World Cup qualifier. If we do our best, we put in that effort, that intensity, we can beat any side, you know. That of the captainship, during my time, The older players, if you are there before a newcomer per se, these are the players that are entitled to having that captain's band. It's not going to change, even if we have the best player in the team and is 2-year-old in Super Eagles, and we have other players that are there for 5, 6, 7 years. I think.
So invariably, you're saying that Ahmed Musa would.
No. We have to look at the players that are in the team now. Those that are older, definitely, we have that. They will have that right, to wear the captain's band if they are going to start the match. If they are not starting, definitely the newer players that are just coming in will pick from that.
Okay, we had Amaju Pinnick on this program. And one of the things he said, recommending you why he supported your choice as a head coach, was that, look, you understand the local league very well, having coached, I think, Enyimba.
Yes.
Enyimba FC. But every day on this table, we discuss the English Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Eredivisie, the League 1, all this. Okay, I'm not even sure many of us know half of the names of the players or the teams in the local league. What do you think we can do to build up the Nigerian local league? I mean, part of your job as head coach of Super Eagles is not just to qualify us for the World Cup. It's also to help promote, nurture talent, develop football. Yes. And you are not a DHL, what is the appropriate word?
DHL coach.
DHL coach, sitting somewhere in the middle of Europe. You are on the ground here. What specifically do you think we need to do to bring the league back to those days when we used to hear Bender Insurance, ICC, Boko FC, BCC Lions of Boko, all those people, stationary stores of Lagos, Nwanyanwu National. Yeah. Now, when I hear some of these things, they say Remo Stars, and they say, what are some of Kano Pillars or something? I don't even know who and who is playing there.
It requires funding, marketing. That is not my field, but I think these are the areas where they have to work on to have the league being watched by thousands or millions of people. We are comfortable because most of us, through the social media and DSTV or whatever, we watch the Premier League and then we enjoy it. So we have to invest in the league, get 1 or 2 things right, and the league will be competitive, like it used to be.
All right, so I want to go personal now. And there's going to be a couple of questions. Number one will be, you've had a stellar career that has spanned through many things in your life, and there have been some black spots in your life, like the loss of your brother, Eginewari. I mean, many, many years after, what does that event still, do to you when you think of it? That's number one. Now, number two will be also the position of, the welfare of some of your colleagues that you guys played together. I mean, most of them are not where you are today, but we've seen what has happened to some of them. I mean, what would you be saying in the likes of advocacy? And I just want you to say a word to Tijani Babangida that is going through horrendous time as we speak now.
Okay, I will start with the last question. Babangida, I have not seen him personally, but we talk on the phone. I call him every now and then. Really a sad moment for him. It was quite unfortunate when I think when I was in Abuja trying to negotiate for my contract, I spoke with his late brother, and he told me he was very happy with me. And 3 days later, somebody, sent me a text message that they had an accident and he died in that accident. So I sent Babangida a message. He called me back and he was crying that we should pray for him. So it's quite sad, For me also losing people in my life. It brought back some memories and it was quite sad for me, But for me and my family, we have moved on. Try to think back, it was quite difficult,
Losing a Guinea warrior then?
Yeah, it was quite difficult for the family because till date we didn't know what really happened, and nobody was arrested.
Till date, as regards the Guinea warrior's death?
Yeah, till date, so that was a sad thing about his death, No culprit, nobody showed up, nobody was arrested, so we've just left everything that way and moved on.
Coach,
That's Nigeria.
Coach, now I would like to ask a very, very general question, but it's touching on technicality and tacticality. Explain to us and Nigerians. It seems Nigerians and fans get a better bird's eye view or aerial view of matches, plays, because fans could almost tell that this is when you should make a change. This is the kind of person that you should bring in. This is the problem of the team. But coaches always, or most of the time, especially coaches that are struggling, are almost oblivious of that particular fact. This is not just synonymous with local coaches here in Nigeria or national team coaches, but even see with when Arsene Wenger was going through his travel in his dark days at Arsenal, everybody knew the problem of Arsenal. It seems to be the fact that it was only Arsene Wenger that did not understand the problem. Same as Jose Peseiro. When Peseiro was going through his rough patches, everybody knew the problem of the Super Eagles. But Peseiro, for some particular reason, did not understand it till the Nations Cup came. He made a tactical shift and everything changed. What is always going through the coach's mind when you hear people complaining about a certain thing? Everybody seems to see the problem, but you, the coach, that should have a massive overview of the situation, the play, because you have the data, you have everything within touching distances, is completely oblivious of what is going on.
In other words, is there a room for democracy in how you do your work so that we too can make inputs?
Like you rightly said, it's not a thing of Nigerian coaches, it's worldwide. Sometimes taking those decisions quite difficult for one reason or the other. It doesn't have to do with. Sometimes you have to look at your team. The personality of the players. Sometimes quite difficult. Making that change could cause rift in the team. That's
so
why
would you
sometimes
sacrifice someone taking out a Victor Osimhen when you know he's not performing? Because you know that Victor Osimhen carries a lot of weight in the dressing room and it might cause a little bit of division. So you keep him on the pitch as against trying to get probably a goal or trying to get a win.
I mean, it's about management, If you have a good relationship with the players, I think you can do that, But if the relationship is not good, sometimes you see the big stars. Sometimes it's quite difficult, just taking them out because at some point in the game, they are feeling that they can do that, that magic. And if you take them out before that time, it becomes a problem, So that's why sometimes it's quite difficult for coaches to do that.
All right, thank you so much, Finidi George. Thank you so much. At first, wish you a lot of luck in your work, and thank you for your service to this country over the years.